another reason. Oh yeah, Cody. When are you fucking gonna come back?
Okay, well, that was a bust. I'm just gonna roll right into it. Hey, everybody, so that was a bust. Tried doing the opening, and there's no volume to it. Arrgh. One of these days we'll get it. One of these days we'll get it. There we go. Now people can probably actually hear us. How about that? Hey, Hope, can you hear us?
I think so.
You think so? I need to add you to like this page because you're not on it yet. There we go. So now I will move us, and you have your own screen here. Oh. Come on, there we go. Let's put it there and there. Hey, everybody. Yeah. Oh, sorry, that was a bust. What a bummer. Had all this opening started up and everything, and it was awesome. And then, nope. Just a big old like middle finger. Well, we'll get it fixed up next time. So, hey, everybody. It's great to see you guys again for another podcast. We are on podcast number 3. We finally come up with a name.
Yeah,
we have a name. We have become the Burning Minds podcast.
Welcome to the Burning Minds, people.
Hope's there. Whoa, Hope. I'm seeing like double and triple you in your own screen. What is going on? Hope,
I don't know.
you in your own screen?
Everyone wants to see me.
Woo!
More than
Double the
one time.
hope?
Right, double Hope.
Whoo, yeah. That's too much hope to handle.
I see what it's doing. There we go. It's weird. Skype was recording your it was recording the mini window at the same time. So that's what that was. Now I got to like go on here again and set it up so the streams people can see the stream again because we had problems. Kermit the Frog here.
Currently sharing to social media.
Yes. This is a thing.
Actually, it flows a lot better down here than it does up here.
Had issues.
To the 5 followers I have on
Try again. There we go. We'll see what happens. At least at this point now we've got it a little bit better. Anyways, so
introductions.
Intro. So being the kind of leading member for the Burning Minds podcast. I'm Burnout. Go ahead.
I'm the abrasive Scotsman.
Nothing to do with the voice this time.
What?
We started this before, and the last time he said
yeah, last time I purposely put the accent in, but the accent I do when I'm trying to do the accent is not as good as when the accent comes out naturally thanks to liquor.
Yeah, that'll be a thing too. And then of course, in the other massive screen is Hope.
Hi.
I don't know if you have another name that you want to use for things.
Say Hope. I don't care.
You don't care. It's Hope. We'll just go with Hope.
Develop an online personality, Hope.
Yeah.
I already have one, just no one uses it.
It's too difficult.
You never told me what it was.
It's Faye Taure, but everyone.
I'm sorry, what?
Faye Taure.
Faye Taure. That is kind of complicated.
Yeah, so you
Well,
get
I
like
just
too
go
many
by
syllables.
Faye. No one ever uses the last part.
You have too many syllables. Dock 3 of them, and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
It's Faye. That's one.
Then you're all right. Then we'll just go with that. But
Faye?
I'll probably just end up calling you Hope.
Yeah.
Just because we know you better that way.
I know.
And you all know
I have
us
too
better,
many
Zarni.
handles that different people know me by.
Yeah, well, the problem is that I still call you by the name that I've always known you as in the pony group. So there's another point of contension. Oh shit!
And
they're
you
all
had to
bronies.
bring it up.
Fuck. They walk
No,
away.
I don't even consider myself a brony anymore.
I
still watch the show.
Just
It's
don't do
still
much anymore.
decent, but I'm not part of the fandom anymore. It's just.
I mean,
It's still a quality cartoon show. I love to watch it, especially Me and my daughter make sure to watch the new episodes every weekend.
I will be completely honest. I am terrible. I have not watched a single episode of season 6 yet. So
What are you
It's
doing?
half-assed. Season 6 is okay. Anyways, off of ponies.
like-
we're
You
through
go
that
away.
portion of our lives.
he's like,
God.
oh,
That
there are
sick
people
sad.
here. All right.
Yes,
sad
my
portion
house
of
is
our
full
lives.
of people.
You what?
So my house is full of people.
Oh, gotcha. That's all right. Well, we will go ahead and jump right into things here. So, hey, look. Whoa, Hope, you are squished. Wow. I'm going to move you.
confused.
I'm going to move you and
Readjustments.
redo your
What?
camera.
What are you all doing? This is live online.
It's not even caught up.
We're live?
It's
Alright,
okay.
live out here with
It's
Connor
live
Stewart.
I'm sorry.
Call me
We have random people accosting the video, accosting the stream. Oh, God.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Hello, random people. Hi.
They all want to be famous online, I guess.
Good luck. We're about as famous as 2 rotten potatoes.
Seriously,
Look how
go
late it is.
away.
Whoa, dude, you actually think we can compare to
Jesus
Rotten
Christ.
Potatoes?
Out
I know,
here.
man. That's difficult, man. Fucking
That,
Rotten
I
Potatoes
think
probably-
you're giving us a bit too much credit with that one.
Maybe just a little. Anyway, so you want to you want to run us in on what this video is? A short run in. We gotta make this
Okay,
quick.
for
you know?
anyone who wasn't initially watching our first attempt at and failed attempt, this is This is a video from the Young Turks. It's Jank, the big brown buffalo.
What?
He's
The big brown buffalo. I've never heard that before. Oh my goodness, you are
You-
just being molested over there, Hope.
you obviously don't watch enough of certain YouTubers, but
don't.
this is Jank talking about how he supposedly called how Trump was going to flip-flop as soon as he made it into the generals if he made it.
I bet you're bumping up 1,000 or something.
And
I got like 20,000 viewers.
Okay, seriously, can you all leave? Like,
How many viewers you got?
yeah,
I don't know, but they can all hear you, and it's annoying.
I got
You're trying
sidetracked
to
by all
listen.
that.
Yeah, right. It's like I think the show. I think we just need to I need to make a scene for,
Jesus.
and it's gonna be nothing more than Hope's video, and we're just gonna run this for the next 20 minutes.
God.
A magic trick.
Hello, people.
Hell yes, random people. So we're
Not
just
this,
like
Sherlock. Go away.
I see at least one person is drinking over there.
I think more than one is, but
I only see a bottle in one person's hand.
Got a shitter on the dog
Oh
over
my
here.
god.
We got a little shitter. We got a little something.
it's the Hope Show now.
Look at this.
It's the Hope Show now. We're just gonna run this for the rest of like the next 2 hours.
Wait for me.
Poor Hope.
Yeah,
It's a thing, man. I told you it was gonna end up happening. That's why it's so difficult to
I
do
told you
it
guys
with people
my house is
online.
full of people. And they're all drunk, too, so, you know.
I'm not drunk. I'm just having fun. Bro.
Okay.
God.
If your
Alright.
first argument is I'm not drunk, you're drunk.
Seriously,
on my
no. Go
This is
away.
coming from someone who drinks a lot, or at
Oh
least
my
used
god.
to.
Someone help me.
Mom wants it. Mom wants it. Come on.
This is so not the stream I had envisioned tonight.
This is ridiculous.
Come on. Let me.
You know what though? I think this is how we win
know.
random viewership. We're just going to watch the live Hope Show and comment on it instead.
Right?
Here, let me put us.
Hold on.
Come on. Let me talk
Okay,
to some fucking
I'm
people.
giving the mic over, because now I'm getting accosted.
You're being attacked. All right, so we'll put our video at the bottom here. So
Hello.
you guys are now the Hope Show. Hello.
Hello?
Hello,
Oh.
and your name is?
Quite loud.
Hello. Welcome to my show. My name is Gabrielle Anna Monroe.
Gabrielle. Hello, Gabrielle.
Hello. How are you children tonight?
Not intoxicated enough yet. Working on it.
You don't need to yell. You were like
Well, she was. I was being
You're-
condescending.
you're
I'm
being
sorry,
a
I'm an
snot ball.
asshole.
I see how that is.
I'm
Whoa.
a dick.
It
Face it.
froze. Like your video froze.
Too much action going on.
Herp.
Yes, like,
I didn't mean to be loud.
We
Alright.
are here.
I'm just
Donald
not
Trump's
used to
little
this.
bitch.
now.
Your video has like drastic lag spike there.
Yeah, very, very much
I'm trying to do
dragging.
this thing with my friends, and these two just don't.
Who is this?
Listen.
Can I, Hope, can you make it right to the people?
They're right there, Dan.
The,
I know,
the
but I wanted
very
to see
blurry
them
people that are
more.
going on right now.
I don't have control over that.
You don't?
Joe, you're in it. I just saw your ass laying there.
Anyways.
Come on, Lori. What are you doing?
This is definitely weird.
Chewing up a
This is
sponge.
like the
Definitely
most
weird.
awkward opening to a stream I think I've ever done, and we've
Do you
only
guys
done 3
play
of them.
music
So
or
what does that
something?
tell you?
I see something in there. You guys play music?
We're not doing music. We're doing a political-based podcast.
Oh, political.
Social.
We're just tackling
Fuck
modern
Trump.
issues.
All right. Give me a little something here.
Bernie.
All right, here.
Feel the burn.
Bernie
So-
Sanders has absolutely no chance running as a Democrat.
Oh, please tell me why.
Yep. Okay. We'll just go random on this and switch it over to 2. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. You want me to tell you why Bernie Sanders has absolutely no chance running as a Democrat?
Yes.
I think it should be obvious considering the fact that despite
Trump rally cat.
him winning the vote in practically every state, the delegates are still divided more or less evenly, mostly in Hillary's favor with superdelegates. He's being completely screwed out of everything by the Democratic establishment, and nobody's focusing on it. Bernie Sanders stands no chance running as a Democrat.
I think you're completely right. You know why?
Why?
Because I think you're maybe smart a little bit, but you may know your politics.
You're damn right I know my politics.
Do you know your politics?
I know my politics. That's why I'm a
What
Trump
does
supporter.
Bernie Sanders stand for?
So you say you know your politics. That's why you're a Trump
Bernie
supporter.
Sanders
I'm pretty sure there's a
standards.
bunch of people that would say that exact
Bernie
same thing about Ross
Sanders
Perot
have
when he was running
standards?
last time. I
My
know my
question
politics.
is-
Ross Perot is the man.
Ross
Does
Perot would have
Bernie
been a great president.
Sanders
His problem
have
was running as a third
standards?
party.
I don't think we know the answer to that question.
Ross Perot would have been better than Bush Jr.
I think a bucket of pond scum probably would have done a bit better than Bush Jr.
Oh, you think?
Oh yeah, well,
But
obviously.
Well, I'm trying to
You
give I'm trying to
know
give the
how much
pond scum
life
the benefit
a
of the
bucket
doubt.
you
of
can't
scum
argue
gives
the
you.
fact that it's like, oh, Ross Perot. He had that stigma because running as a third party. Ross Perot, honestly, if you look at all of the policies that he had back in the
you know,
2000
a bucket
election,
of scum.
Ross Perot
Do you
would
know
have been a
how much
great
life
president,
that
but he had no
gives you?
chance because he didn't run as one of the two parties. Bernie Sanders, I think, even though I honestly wouldn't vote for him, I think Bernie Sanders could be the person that would make a third party valid. He has a big enough following that if he were to run as independent, he would drag so many Democrats away to the independent party that
Okay.
a third party would finally become a valid option for the first time in U.S. history.
Oh, wow.
Might be a
Please
little-
tell me how you feel more about that option.
That's basically it right there.
I'm just knocking everything
Really?
off the table
Like
today.
the entire reason that Bernie Sanders ran as a Democrat is the exact same reason that Trump ran as a Republican. Because
Did
we
you think
live
he'd
in a
make money?
two-party system where if you try and run as any party other than those two main ones, you don't stand a chance. But the
Do you know
thing
why
is,
Trump wants to be president?
tell
Trump wants to
tell
be
me why
president
Trump wants to
Because
be
it's the
president.
highest seat of power.
Trump wants to be president because he's a businessman, all right? Businessmen want to be at the top of everything that there is.
I-80.
So he wants to be above everybody and beyond, and he thinks if he can be the president of everybody, then
That-
he's going to have it all.
That's not true.
No,
15
businessmen
no,
always
15,
want
18
everything.
No, 15.
Businessmen always want everything, and if Trump thinks that he can be president, then he needs to have the money, and
Can
he's
I
going to
ask-
have everybody else.
Can I ask how old you are, Gabrielle?
Hang on a second. Hang on a second.
May you
Uh,
ask?
Hang on 1 second, please. Let me do one thing. Hope, do me a favor. Click on, tell Hope to turn the video off and then turn it back on really quick.
Tell Hope to turn the video off and turn it back on.
There, because
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just
it
so
was
terribly
lagging like a
It's so terribly
It is.
laggy. So
2000.
There we go.
There we go.
Damn,
That's
fuck.
much better.
Why didn't we
Okay,
do that like 20 minutes ago?
Hey,
Okay.
Gabrielle, can I ask how old you are?
Should be like the
Do you need to know?
It would
Give-
help
give-
me
give it a-
understand the position
How old
that
do
you're
I
coming
look?
from.
13?
Give the general area.
I would
5
say,
years, 5 years difference. You know?
I would say that you look.
I'm only a
I
little
would
bit
say you
younger
look
than my
about
sister.
22, maybe 23.
22, 23, that's a good age. Right? Yeah, that's a good age.
Am I in the ballpark at least?
You're in the ballpark.
Okay. Back when you were only like 5 years old, that's the thing that I'm talking about, that I was talking about before. 15, 18 years ago, when Trump actually said that he would only run, because he was actually posed this question. He was posed this question back in the early mid 90s. Would he actually run for president?
No,
and
he would
said,
not.
yes, he was. And he actually said that only if we were on a complete downslope, only if we were basically doomed, he would run for president. And
The
he
only
held true to
reason
that.
he's running for president is because he
No,
knows that our economy is going to shit, and he's the only business person that has ever been popular in our economy. So he thinks that he can make
that's
millions
not
and
true.
millions of dollars
Steve Jobs,
doing what
Steve
he's
Jobs was
doing,
extremely
thinking that
popular.
he's going to become president and taking care of all
okay.
of us.
Hope. I feel so
Quotation
bad
marks.
for sure.
Again, you're denying that this thing happened when it happened when you were 5 years old at the most. You
Trump
don't
was not
remember
running
it
for
happening,
president
so it
whenever I was
must not
5
have
years
happened.
old, first of all. Second of all, the only reason that Trump is running for president is because he became so popular in the business aspect that he thinks he can take over the world just like Hitler.
No, honestly,
He
honestly,
is
Bernie
second-generation
Sanders is
Hitler.
closer to Hitler than Trump is. Democratic socialism? Democratic socialism? Do you know what the Nazi Party was actually called? The
Well, like,
National
tell me.
Socialist Workers' Party. Socialism is inherently tied to Nazism. The National Socialist Workers' Party was the official name of the Nazi
Are you guys
Party.
for Trump? Are you for Trump?
I'm for Trump.
Okay,
I
so
sit
you are
in
Trump.
a
So
nebulous
therefore
state
you
of
I do
agree
not
with
speak for
Nazism.
everybody, for anybody else. I speak for myself. I personally am for Trump, and this is based
So you
on
believe
the issues.
for Nazism because he's trying to take over the world and just be like somebody that he shouldn't.
How
be.
is Trump like a Nazi?
Because
how
he's
is-
trying to take everybody over. With
In
his
what way?
businesses. He's like a major
Citation
monopoly.
needed.
Is what he is.
Citation needed. Give an
He's
example.
like a major monopoly.
That's a very terrible and friend-losing board game.
You do realize that almost every politician in U.S.
Not
history
monopoly
has
the
had
board
some sort of
game,
business ties.
monopoly the businesses that control
know.
other small businesses.
I'm the random smartass who likes to pop in with the stupidest quips because otherwise I'll never get a word in edgewise on anything that anyone that I believe in any situation. I just stay quiet until
well, then
everyone's
didn't
quiet.
happen there.
Damn it,
No, I-
Hope! Your screen, your picture.
You see, this is the problem with
You are
millennials.
pixelated as hell. Tell her to restart the video again.
This is her sister that's taking over. Hello.
Tell
This
Hope
is
to
Gabrielle
redo the video
Monroe
again.
taking over.
Tell Hope to redo the video again, please. Restart the
Gabrielle.
video.
I mean, Julia Hope Monroe, please redo the video.
And
We're
I'm
having-
Bob Roger Clinton.
Your friends like me.
No relation.
And everyone in the world could see that.
Restart the damn video.
Give me a back.
It's- Fight, fucking fight. Soccer riot, god damn it.
What'd you do? You turned off your video. Why?
Because you are coming in as nothing
We're
but a
talking
pixel brick.
people.
You are a pixel brick.
I-
Now you're not a pixel brick. There you go.
Here I am.
Anyways, I'm gonna go switch and pop over to the video here. Let's see what we got going. Hello, mouse.
Donald Trump flip-flopping on all of his positions now that he thinks he's in the general election, and he very likely is. So here he goes on minimum wage. Now first, let me show you what he did on minimum wage when he was in the Republican primary. Let's watch.
Are you sympathetic to the protesters' cause, since a $15 wage works out to about $31,000 a year?
I can't be, Neil, and the reason I can't be is that we are a country that is being beaten on every front, economically, militarily. There is nothing that we do now to win. We don't win anymore. Taxes too high, wages too high. We're not going to be able to compete against the world. I hate to say it, but we have to leave it the way it is. People have to go out, they have to work really hard, and they have to get into that upper stratum. But we cannot do this if we are going to compete with the rest of the world. We just can't do it.
So do not raise the minimum wage.
I would not raise the minimum.
No wages.
Okay. One thing I have to point out is, despite the way they ended it there with the whole question of do not raise the minimum wage, because of the way it was initially stated, he asked him specifically about a $15 an hour minimum wage, which Trump said that he was not for. He was completely against a $15 minimum wage. He is against raising the minimum wage to $15. This does not mean that he is completely and utterly against the possibility of raising a minimum wage. He just doesn't believe that it should be raised to $15 an hour. Just to get that out.
You guys may still be muted. We hear nothing from you. It's all the way over here, dude. Yeah, if you can't find it, just slide all the way to the right.
They're too high. We can't compete. You know, definitely not for raising the minimum wage. Let's also just note real quickly, not substantively. In that clip, his hands look extraordinarily small. I don't know, it was like what photographer?
Sorry.
Go back.
What the hell?
And yeah.
As soon as we ended the call with Hope, it kicked this volume up. So, Hope is a problem. No,
I think
that
it was
weird.
Gabrielle's presence in the situation that was causing the problem. I'm sorry, but millennials bug me. Millennials bug me.
You keep turning it sideways. Don't turn it sideways. You'll never be able to have the angle right. All right.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm just gonna click off this Skype logo really quick because this is.
Yeah,
not
that
funny.
wasn't working out. Sadly, a logical mind was being drowned out by inane childish nonsense.
Well, this is the problem that I have with trying to do any kind of chat thing with anybody, even just sitting outside talking with people, especially when they're drunk, because after a while they just keep going and going and going. So I don't bother. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna let this play out, and I'll sit here and.
I'm guilty of that, but I at least, the moment I'm told, hey, shut up for a second, I do.
Yeah.
Like, I'll get into my drunken ramble, but you tell me to shut up and I will. I'll at least listen, you know, it's a respectful thing.
Okay, hang on a second here before we go back. Oh. Good. Looks like I finally got my shit back. That's good, but...
Okay.
Yeah, just go ahead and keep playing it. Sorry about that blasting noise there.
Pull it back a little bit.
Yeah. Do you want me to do it? You're going.
What we basically watched was a video of Trump from early in the primaries about how he is against a $15 an hour minimum wage.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Clip. His hands look extraordinarily small. I don't know, it was like...
Okay, right there. I have to pause it again because after that, the first thing that...
I'm going to beat you to death. Learn to put the mic in the right spot.
the thing that Jank says right there, oh, his hands look particularly small. He immediately...
Aren't they always cracking on Trump for having, like, just small-looking hands?
Yeah, and...
What?
It's not even true. It's just this one thing that Ted Cruz came out with during his campaign, because Trump was just so good at dogging on all the other candidates that some of them, like Rubio and Cruz, the whole reason why they were able to stay in the race the longest, honestly, except for Kasich, who entered late and then left anyways. But the reason Rubio and Cruz were able to stay in as long as they did, particularly Cruz, is because they actually tried to play Trump's game with these pointless insults. He basically... He baited them into making these pointless fucking things that would destroy their credibility. And the whole small hands thing, Cruz implied that Trump's hands are small somehow, and that is implicative of a small penis. Like, that is what Cruz implied.
Yes, because
and ever since then, all the anti-Trumpers kind of grabbed onto that. At least in the media. And that's the first thing that Jank busts out with right there is, after a video of Trump saying he's not in support of a $15 an hour minimum wage, the first thing we need to bring up is the size of his hands, how big his hands look. It's a complete ad hominem straw man, and the Brown Buffalo is an idiot for even bringing it up.
Wait, how do you say his name again? Sank or Cenk?
Jank, I believe. It's a
I thought it was Cenk Uygur.
It's a Turkish name. It starts with a C, but in the Turkish pronunciation...
C doesn't actually have that same sound.
The Turkish pronunciation, if you look on any, like, pronunciation guide online, it gives a D, then these symbols that are obviously not English.
Oh, okay.
Because it is a Turkish name. So with the pronunciation, there are things that it can't really be fully pronounced, like, depicted in English letterage. So, but it starts with a D. So the way I've mostly heard it, I've never actually heard him say his own name.
Yeah, right.
So I can't actually, I've never actually heard a Turkish person say his name. So I honestly don't know what the fully correct pronunciation is. But from what I've read from pronunciation guides online, and from what I've heard the majority of other people referring to him use, it's Jank.
Okay, well...
Kind of a DJ together
gotcha.
sound.
Yeah.
Jank.
Yeah.
Jank.
Gotcha.
You know, Jank.
Well, anyway,
I'm not even going to start on his last name, because whatever.
I've watched a bit of, the Young Turk stuff, because for a little while they were kind of interesting, secular talk, things like that. This was, kind of when I was first starting to get out of my religious beliefs and kind of looking at things in a more secular light versus a religious light in things. Not so much like, it was kind of just digging everywhere and seeing what all these people thought, and kind of like, kind of create my own mindset on a lot of things after doing my own research. It was just a matter of me, trying to find any form of media that would that wasn't religious based, telling me what's going on. That's
one of the things about the Young Turks, why they have this particular following, is because them being a YouTube media outlet, and because Jank has the journalistic legitimacy of his short extent on MSNBC as a political correspondent. There we go. People looking for something, people who know that the mainstream media is completely biased and is never going to give you the honest truth, they go looking for the outskirts media, the media that isn't the mainstream, and YouTube is full of that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you have to understand that, honestly, out of everybody on the Young Turks, the only person that has any...
He has broadcasting
any
experience.
Industrial credibility within the journalistic field is Cenk because of his short stint on MSNBC, which was like, I think maybe it was like what, a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. I honestly don't know if I'm wrong. Someone please correct me, but I believe he was on MSNBC for about 1 or 2 years as
that's what he said.
As an occasional political correspondent. But everybody else on the entire Young Turks channel is these complete nobodies. They have just as much legitimacy in the media outlet world as we do.
That's sad, because I've got the media mind of like a flattened squirrel on the highway.
You're probably more credible, Byrne, than the majority of the TYT newscast, simply because of the degree you have in cinematography and filmography.
Yeah, and then I get to sit there and show it off like this, having all these technical issues. This is a show that's going fucking amazing. Cocksucker. It's like fucking telling me, oh yeah, your degree, you just got it. Make me look like an ass. I can't do my first job right.
No, you just got your degree. You still have more.
I also work in an audiovisual company for the last 2 years. I should do this. To be fair, I'm doing this all through one computer, though. I'm not doing this on the kind of equipment that I'm used to, which is high, which is industrial.
The only difference between us and the Young Turks is funding.
Yes.
They have enough money to look like a newscast. They can look like MSNBC or Fox News on YouTube because they've got enough money. We're doing this for the fuck of it because we like to voice our opinions to nobody. And
and we're doing a damn good job, right?
Fuck it. You know,
and Hope's here to be a part of that.
They may have the money, but they've got just as much journalistic credibility in the field as we. Well, a little bit more thanks to Mr. Cenk. But
yeah, I'm just moving things a little bit. I want to see it. There we go. All right,
but
well,
still,
let's get back into this.
Yeah, we were still on the point that the first thing Cenk mentions after this, after Trump saying he's against the $15 an hour minimum wage, is the whole comment about small hands, and it just shows what the Young Turks is about. They'll just jump on this thing that has absolutely nothing to do with what they were talking about.
That was originally where I was trying to talk about, was the fact that before we got sidetracked on his name.
Oh, I see Hope is back with us.
Yes.
Hi, Hope. Welcome back.
From a lot of the stuff that I've seen, he does tend to kind of do that a lot. He tends to be the one who tends to do a lot of ad hominem attacks, like. And I know it's just, he's trying to be funny. He's trying to, it's entertainment for the camera. That's what he's doing. That's his mindset. But at the same time, trying to be some realistic. And he may be trying to throw jabs, which he is, but you know.
He also misquotes regularly on a constant basis. He misquotes things.
See, I don't know that one because I don't often go back like, well, and to be fair, in the last like 6 or 8 months, I haven't even watched any of him. But the little bit I did see, I didn't see a lot of that.
I actually subscribe to the Young Turks just because.
Oh, I do too.
Well,
I just haven't watched them.
It's the matter of free speech. You know, I enjoy exposing myself to contrary opinions.
You need to stop doing that. You need to keep those pants on.
Hey,
what?
when the wind lifts my kilt up, I cannot help it.
See, and I'm the one wearing the skirt.
I'm going to be, once I've got enough money, I'm going to be buying myself a kilt. And
dude,
it's going to be in Texas bluebonnet tartan.
Ooh, that's gonna look pretty.
Oh, nice. It is this gorgeous mixture of a dark blue and like a forest green. Yeah. Oh man, Texas bluebonnet tartan is brilliant. But anyways,
random aside, done.
But anyways, let's get back to the video after Cenk mentioned Trump's small hands.
Yeah, so he's moving into.
Anyways, we've established through the video that Cenk just showed that Trump is against a $15 an hour minimum wage.
Yep, and now we're looking at the next portion is a more recent
trick photography or something. But go back and rewind for a second. His hands look this big. Anyway, and then How did they all lose to this clown, right? We're not winning anymore. We're not winning. We need to start winning. How are we going to win? We're going to lower wages. Now, that was for Republican primary, and it worked. He's in a general election. What's your new thought on wages, Mr. Trump?
Minimum wage. At a debate, you remember what you said. You thought you didn't want to touch it. Now you're open to it. What changed?
Let me just tell you, I've been traveling the country for many months, since June 16th. I'm all over. Today I'm in the state of Washington. I have seen what's going on, and I don't know how people make it on $7.25 an hour. Now, with that being said, I would like to see an increase of some magnitude, but I'd rather leave it to the states. Let the states decide, because don't forget, the states have to compete with each other.
Right. You want but should the federal government set a floor, and then you let the states?
No, I'd rather.
Okay, I'm gonna stop because that's the first time I've ever heard I've ever heard that position from him. And mind you, I don't tend to watch a ton of this stuff, so this is me seeing my little tiny bit from the shadows. So that's the first time I've heard him say that. And when he immediately mentions, the first thing he mentions after saying he wants to see an increase of an order of magnitude, but let the states do it. His first statement after that is they have to compete with each other, which of course they are. And that's the businessman side of him in some aspects. You know, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Trump hater. I'm not I don't have a whole lot of strong opinions either way on any of the candidates, except for the fact that this is just a circus now, and none of these people will be worth it. But you know, Trump bringing that up, saying, "Hey, the states have to fight with each other over, you know, for funding and stuff," just the same way. It shows that obviously he knows that kind of a thing. And on the business side, he may in some aspects be able to, you know, figure out a slightly better way of doing some things, but given some of his track record with his other businesses too, I don't know. It's hard.
You bring up the track record with his other businesses. What do you mean by that?
From what I've heard from and again, this is from other news sources, they've mentioned like his failure with things like Trump steaks, that he's had something along the line of like, what was it, 3, it could have been more, I think it was
4 bankruptcies.
Yeah, 4 bankruptcies, okay, so I was close, I didn't want to overdo it. So, you know, I mean, you look at that and you're like, okay, well, what are the real reasons for those bankruptcies? Might absolve him of the problem. Maybe it's not mismanagement. Maybe it's a bad market. Maybe there's a lot of factors to it. But
that's not necessarily it. Can I address that matter? It's the fact of the matter is, you look at Trump's entire corporation. Business itself, true free market capitalism, not the crony capitalism that we have had over the majority of U.S. history, well, at least recently. True free market capitalism is shit.
You lost your train of thought.
You telling me to look at the camera distracted my mind from the initial point.
Because everyone's like watching you stare off screen.
Yeah, I understand.
You know, it's almost fair because you're almost looking at Hope. So I'm just gonna nudge you over, and you two in frame can just there you go. So every time you look at me, actually
turn this way.
Okay, what were you saying? It was, Trump's failed aspects of business. Any legitimate business in true free market capitalism requires risk.
Yeah, of course.
When you're starting a business, there's a chance you're going to fail. And some of the businesses that Trump has started, yes, they have failed. A lot more of those businesses have succeeded. If you look at the fact, 4 bankruptcies. 1, there is a huge difference between business bankruptcy and personal bankruptcy.
Well, yeah, you're not talking Chapter 13 or Title 13 or Title 9.
Trump has never, ever filed for personal bankruptcy. Yeah. He has had to file 4 business bankruptcies, but when you look at the fact that Trump Incorporated, Trump Industry, I can't remember exactly what his corporation is called, but they actually control over 525 different companies.
Yeah.
The fact that 4 of those declared bankruptcy means he has a 98% success rate.
Okay, so really quick, and then I'm gonna have.
So yeah, four companies owned by Trump did have to declare bankruptcy, but there's more than 500 other companies he owns that did not.
Yeah. So
it's the relative perspective.
Yeah. So I'll put my 2 cents in really quick, and then we'll jump to Hope so she can have her say. So looking at it in that light, one, I did not know he had that many companies under his belt. And again, I'm literally the shadows observer from a lot of this, but I didn't know he had that many. The thing that I look at, and like I said, if his track record is that good, and he, you can look at the financials that he's put out to prove that. I have no information, but he does. If you look at that, if he's got that great of a success rate, 4 companies crashing is nothing. It's very similar to I'll pull Gordon Ramsay.
It's a 2% rate of failure. Yeah. You can't get much better than that, honestly.
Yeah, and I'll look at what Gordon Ramsay's done. I'm a Gordon Ramsay fan just because I like the shows.
The man's a genius.
His food's insanely...
A culinary and business genius.
Yeah. So, but for all of his, successes, for his own productions company, for his shows, everything that he does for all of his different restaurants, what does he have? He has Kitchen Nightmares, Hell's Kitchen, The F Word. He's got so many of them.
He has like half a dozen different shows, along with even more restaurants he owns worldwide, not even just nationwide. Worldwide.
And so in that aspect, if Trump literally has lost 4 of 525,
more than 525.
Okay, well, in that case,
I said 525 because I can't remember the specific number. I know for a fact the number I read was above that. I can't remember how far above that, so I'm giving that as the lowest baseline.
Okay. Hope, what do you have to say? Sorry, yawning.
Yeah, well, what do you have to say on the matter, Hope?
I mean, I feel as far as like a business, like if you're going fully business-wise, as far as like Trump for a candidate, then yeah, it'd probably be pretty good. I mean, I'm personally am not a big Trump fan, just because of his other things that he has to say and stuff like that. But I mean, if you're looking at it purely business-wise, I would say then,
Well, of course, the only reason we're mentioning the business-wise is because right now he's talking about minimum wage, which affects businesses, and that affects him as well. And he's talking, yes, he still wants to have a minimum wage rate, or minimum wage raise. God, tongue twister. Okay.
Yeah.
He wants it raised. He's saying not $15 because there's, I think there's more problems in that than there is solutions.
It's too high of a rate.
Well, the thing is,
I would agree. That's too high.
Yeah. Well, so many people sit there and say, and I've heard this argument a bunch of times, that you raise the minimum wage to 15, and large companies, for example, will only have to pay. Papa John's only has to pay or charge an extra 6 cents per pizza to recoup the cost, and 6 cents per pizza means nothing. Like to most people, you don't notice 6 cents on your bill. Most people don't, anyways. But it's the smaller shops, it's the mom and pop stores that that immediately destroys.
It's not just the mom and pop stores. It's the small chains, the people who started as a singular business, but have been successful enough under capitalism to open up at least a small chain.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 stores within a metro area.
Yeah.
Even those people are harmed by a $15 minimum wage. You look at what's happened in, I believe, Oregon. It was Oregon or Washington. I honestly can't fully remember, but they actually passed a statewide minimum wage of working up to $15 an hour, and a lot of the proponents, the people who were fighting for that minimum wage of $15 an hour, have actually come out and said that it was a bad idea, that they have actually lost their jobs, and the companies they were working for are shutting down because they can no longer afford to employ the minimum amount of people they require to stay open.
Yeah, and that's the one biggest aspect of it. You know, having that minimum wage just so freaking high is that it starts making it to where the people can't pay their employees that wage and have enough employees to manage the store properly. You know, if you're doing good business, then you can hire another person. But once it dips, well, you kind of you get shafted on it. Yeah. So I guess it kind of depends on your business how much you can handle. But $15, I think that's too high. I think it's gonna cause more problems than it helps. But a raise of the minimum wage up to $9.50 or $10 an hour would be good. And in that, servers as well need to have a bump in their minimum wage. And most servers make $2.55 an hour.
I've heard. The girl that I was most recently dating about like 4 or 5 months ago.
Wait. You never told us about this. This is a story for the ages.
I was just dating her. I wasn't anything serious. That's all there is to it. But no, she was a waitress.
Yeah.
She may, from what I talked about with her, the average minimum wage for people in a like waitresses and waiters, since they do make less than the average minimum wage because of the fact that it's a tip-based system, it was between $2.50 and $3.15 an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't. I've never heard of recently, like back when I was like first job age, but then this was 17 years ago. Yeah, waitresses and waiters were only making like $1.50, $2 an hour.
When I was working, it was like $2.35, I think is what it was.
But currently,
California.
like within the last year, the waitress and waiter minimum wage has been about $2.50 to $3.15, and that's much lower than the minimum wage of other jobs because it is a tip-based service industry.
Well, and with that, don't like most of, I don't know if all of them, I'm pretty sure here, like if they don't make the minimum wage, that they have to pay them like that difference.
Yeah, if at the end of, I think it's if at the end of like the 2 weeks, you're under, like with tips, you're under what you would have made for minimum wage, then you get bumped up to that so you don't lose that money.
Yeah, they do compensate. They mathematically calculate how much would be earned for the same hours work under the standard minimum wage, and if you don't make that tips included, then they usually it depends state to state. Like here in Arizona, as a what's the term? Right to work.
Yeah, right to work state.
As a right to work state, they don't have to do that. But in some cases, the businesses will compensate you for anything less than you would have earned other than the minimum wage.
Yeah.
Even including tips. But they still normally would pay them. But the thing is, if you're actually good at your job as a waiter or waitress, even if you're only making even the lowest, $2.50 an hour. If you're actually really good at your job, and standard 15% tipping.
Yeah.
If you're really good at your job, you're usually getting that. You'll be making more than minimum wage workers.
Yeah. I mean
I'm just saying, like, even if they weren't, they would still get the same money. So it's like,
So, but still, they would need it too. But let's get
Yeah,
back to this. Or let's buy. Or we. Does he have anything
no,
more
no,
that's
no,
really
no.
pertinent?
There's a little bit more.
Okay. But is it pertinent? That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have the states go out and do what they have to do. And the states compete with each other, not only other countries, but they compete with each other, Chuck. So
That's one thing that I really have to bring up, especially another reason why I'm a proponent of Trump. And it's something he's come out with recently, but it's something that just confirms me being for him, is initially this country was founded with a small federal government and a large state government. For the original 13 colonies that became the original 13 states, the state governments, had a lot more power than the federal government. And that is the way the U.S. government really should be. The federal government should be small. The state governments should have the majority of control. And the reason why that is a much better system is because the state governments are much more representative of their people than the federal government is as a whole. And that
but at the same time, but then you have the fucking problem of, if you allow the state government to have all the control, then you have what would have happened with the gay marriage bill, where the federal government says, yes, you now have no fucking choice. You have to marry these people. Whereas if you left it to the states, you would have tons of people in tons of different states that don't have the right to be married to the person they fucking love.
I mean, basically the same thing, right? Like we had before that bill was passed. Like it's
exactly. So, but if you swap it around, the federal government doesn't have the power to tell them that, like, this big issue that you're not able to fucking handle yourself because of having, you've elected in these specific people who are, some of them are good, some of them are a bunch of fucking retards.
I mean, to go back even farther, like the Civil War, like if we didn't have the federal government like strong enough, then we'd have two different countries right now.
See, that's the thing. The federal government should be much stronger in certain areas, like national defense, while the state governments should be stronger in certain areas. It's the fact that I never said to give the states all the power.
Oh, no.
But the power has to be divided, even though it's a misproportional division, where the federal government has some of the power, but then the state government has the rest of the power. There are some things that the federal government needs to step in on, but for the most part, the state governments should be able to compete with each other. Compete on minimum wage, on gun restriction, on honestly,
so you're basically putting this as
you brought up the gay marriage bit. I honestly believe that neither federal nor state government should have any input on marriage.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you think that they shouldn't. The fact is they do. So that's the point. It doesn't matter at that point. It's not what you think should be. It's what is and what we're dealing with now. If you had left it up, if you leave it up to the states, you will have a lot of states that will refuse to allow people to be married. Now, from what you're saying, though, it sounds like you're kind of talking about, you're talking about the states competing with each other. And it kind of makes it seem like you're looking at it in a very business aspect, like, this state allows these gun laws, but doesn't allow gay marriage. This state allows these gun laws, which are a little stricter, but allows gay marriage, and doesn't care about this, that, and the other. While state X has this, and state Y has this. And you're now looking at it like a bunch of fucking pizza slices, like, where do I want to live? I mean, is that what you're saying? That's kind of what I'm asking.
Well, in a sense, yes. Only in a sense, yes, that is what I'm saying. But that's because if you allow the states to make a lot more of their own decisions, you'll notice that those states that make the decisions that are really, really stupid, like being anti-gay marriage and things like that, those states are going to get fucked out of the situation. The states that are in a state competition scenario, the states that are actually going to come out on top are are the states that are more open to people, but in a more logical sense. The states that allow gay marriage but still don't infringe on your Second Amendment rights. The states that just generally, it comes down to that. That's the reason we need to have that situation, because then the states, on their own levels, are making their own decisions. And those states that have those stupid, bigoted opinions are going to be the states that lose out financially and politically.
Well, they already do in some cases. But what were you gonna say?
I guess it depends. I wouldn't say that they would lose out, because all the people that would be not for something would just move to one of those other states. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, I feel like it would probably even out in the end.
I mean, there's the possibility for it, but I mean, it's just I've seen thus far. I've seen enough states kind of have they have the mindset of doing specific things as it is already, that are just kind of, I don't know. As of late, I've really been kind of getting exceedingly angry about, people like people or governmental figures basically trying to kind of dictate a lot of stuff of how we live and all that. I mean, so I've been having a real issue with that lately, but I think I need to step back and we'll either finish this or move on to the next one.
This is almost over, so let's just finish this up really quick. Let's let Jank get his last little words in after Trump finishes speaking.
All right.
I like the idea of let the states decide. But I think people should get more. I think they're out there, they're working. It is a very low number. You know, with what's happened to the economy, with what's happened to the cost, I mean, it's just, I don't know how you live on $7.25 an hour. But I would say let the states decide.
Now you're in a general election, all of a sudden the minimum wage is a very low number. He would want an increase of some magnitude.
Okay, we don't even need a discussion on this. I just want to clarify what Jank is trying to point out here. Trump initially, very, very early in the primaries, said that he was against a $15 minimum wage. Now, much later in the primaries, now that he is the presumptive nominee and most likely going to make it into the general elections, and after touring the country and talking to the people, he has realized that the current minimum wage, which he was more or less wanting to keep it at, is too low, and he is now in favor of raising the minimum wage. Not as high as $15 an hour, but he is in favor of minimum wage, which is nothing more than refining his viewpoint, his statement over the course of the election. And Jank is just basically trying to portray it as him flip-flopping, even though he's not flip-flopping. Flip-flopping would be saying, yes, we should have a $15 minimum wage, even though he was against it before. The fact that he said he was against a $15 minimum wage, but now says that he is for a raised minimum wage.
Yeah, it's all an argument of semantics and specifics.
Yeah. That's what he just said. You think he was going to stay with those crappy positions and get murdered in this election? Hell no, man. He's going to change all of them. I'd be surprised if he stayed pro-life. Okay. Here comes Trump NATO spinning to the left, now that it is to his advantage, rather than spinning to the right as he was during the Republican primaries. Buckle up.
The EMP... Like I said, the video is going to end with Jank basically trying to say that Trump is just full of doublespeak and that he flip-flopped, when, in all honesty, Trump did not flip-flop. Flip-flopping would be saying that now, yes, he is for a $15 minimum wage, when all he said is, no, after touring the country, I believe the minimum wage should be raised. Some. I'm not sure how much yet, but the minimum wage should be raised, at least somewhat, but not to 15. That's not flip-flopping.
Yeah. Okay, so this one is, it shows the whole thing. I was hoping to not have to deal with this. This is from the Jim Baker show. So this guy's amazing.
I've heard about this movie. It's been kind of portrayed as the movie America doesn't want you to see.
Sounds like a conspiracy theory to me. Well, quick background: Jim Baker's this dude, older guy who's, they have their own little like talk show thing they do. It's very there's a lot of religious background behind it, but he sells bonus buckets. Bonus buckets are these awesome food buckets that you can use for. Wait, what?
You got a notification from something. I don't know.
It was Hope, but what? Unless it. Oh yeah. Gotcha. Sorry, I totally forgot about the screen share. Yeah, we brought her back.
You're good.
Totally forgot about screen sharing. Let's put it on this one so you can see us as well. And no, you'll be fine. Okay, so anyway, so the bonus buckets are for the apocalypse, man. It's for when life on this earth is dwindling down to the crazy last little bits of humanity, and we're all fighting each other for whatever. These bonus buckets of food, you can buy them. They will last for 27 years.
It's a food store. It's a Doomsday Preppers food store.
Exactly. It's exactly what it is. And I don't remember which video this one is, like what one he's talking about here.
I see $600 1 year of food for you plus meal multipliers. Yeah. 1,592 servings. Okay. Let's see this.
The EMP bomb doesn't.
Okay. This is the one. The title of this one is "Buy an EMP suit if you have a pacemaker." So, just listen to this.
Explode like an atomic bomb. It is an atomic bomb, basically, but it doesn't explode way high in the atmosphere, and it doesn't blow your buildings down. It doesn't burn your houses down. What it does, it makes such an electrical pulse that it shuts off. If you were flying your airplane would fall out of the sky. Is that right? Unless you've got an EMP proof, which
no one does.
You fly, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll stop it there. Just remember the point about flying.
Okay, first of all, the fact that this as much respect as I have for Sigmund Freud, at least as far as early psychology
goes.
He
looks just like
Freud,
right?
So much like Freud. This Sigmund Freud looking motherfucker apparently thinks that people are so stupid that in modern day culture you need to explain what an EMP is.
So, okay, but hang on though. The thing is though, is when you see them pan out to see what their audience is, this is not the blue hair special at Denny's. This is Country Kitchen Buffet. Like, people are dying in the streets because it's not open at 6 a.m. South Park shit.
Okay,
That's the people he has on here.
Okay.
So,
I can understand. Hold on for just one more second. Here's the thing.
Point the ball of the mic at your mouth, not your dick.
Here's the thing. It's the matter. I immediately can tell. I'm not even completely sure. I've heard some things about this movie, Amerigeddon. From what I can tell, it's this whole conspiracy theory bit that the whole EMP bomb is being planned by the globalist government, something along those lines.
Yeah, it's always the one world government.
Now here's the thing. An EMP bomb is honestly a real threat in today's society. A terrorist of any type could possibly use this because it is a real thing and it is something that could actually cause some damage.
It is, but
not physical damage, but it could cause some infrastructural damage. It is a legitimate concern, but these people immediately, just from the little bit I've seen, are obviously blowing it out of control.
Yeah, just listen. So he mentioned, of course, a second ago that the dude on the right flies. So here's his statement.
3,000 jets in the skies over America at any moment.
Would all come down.
They all literally fall out of the sky.
Okay, I'm pausing it there because that's all I need to point out. So tell me in what fucking universe with what physical properties would a single EMP bomb be able to spread across the entire United States of America?
It's impossible. Okay.
No,
as far
in an anime universe, guys, anything is possible.
I've been trying transmutation, but I haven't been able to lose my arm yet. I'm doing it wrong.
In a fictional universe, yes, this could be possible in a completely extreme sense. But honestly, in reality, the EMP bomb devices that technology it does allow for nowadays yield about the same electromagnetic pulse as a nuclear device would, only without the nuclear destruction. It's this massive EMP wave without the destruction, equal to the EMP wave of a nuclear device. Yeah. That has like a 10-mile radius, 15-mile radius at maximum, depending on the megatonnage or depending on the electrical capacity of the EMP blast. Yeah, not gigawattage, but it's
terawattage.
No, it would come down to amperage with an EMP blast.
Oh yeah, you're right. I think.
Yes.
It's been a while since I've.
Yes.
It's been a long time since I went through my electrical engineering.
It would come down to, it doesn't matter the wattage, high amperage, as far as I'm concerned, would be what caused an EMP. Right. But the most advanced EMP devices that I'm aware of, even within speculative, can only create an EMP blast equal to a multi-megaton nuclear weapon. Which, like I said, let's even stretch it a bit further than I said, a 20-mile radius, 30-mile radius. One bomb is not going to knock every single jet out of the sky over the United States of America. That is to even claim that an EMP attack, unless somebody controlled enough nuclear weapons or enough EMP weapons to literally have at least 15 to 20 impacts per state, they wouldn't be able to knock out every single jet over the U.S.
Yeah.
All the motors, all the trucks, all the trains, everything that moves, all the electronics is shut down.
Pacemakers.
Pacemakers, yeah.
If anyone has a pacemaker in the audience, you might start wrapping yourself in EMP-proof suits. There's a product for you.
Yeah, there is a product for you that doesn't exist and doesn't need to exist. Yeah. So, yeah, the people who actually have pacemakers who are subjected to that kind of thing could very potentially, yes, their pacemakers could potentially. You could fry the battery.
There is no doubt. If an EMP attack were to happen, anyone that had a pacemaker within the area that attack happened, would die.
Well, yeah.
There is no doubt about that fact. But they are obviously overstating the range of damage of a possible EMP attack.
Yeah, that's kind of that. Crazy people. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the joy.
But yeah.
Hey guys, Pastor Greg.
No. Yeah, that is another thing. Off screen, Tim has just pointed out there are, and the technology does exist. There are EMP-proof electronics.
You know what I'm going to do really quick? I'm going to switch our mics.
It does keep falling down in front of me.
This one won't have that problem.
Awesome. Here, let's get it a bit more out of view of the camera. There we go.
There we go. That's not too bad.
That's a bit better.
That one's stiffer.
That one was. I kept having to flick it back up.
It's okay. There we go. So here's. So this is one of my videos that I submitted for us. again, obviously, as you guys saw earlier, I'm not on camera right now just because I'm doing so much more work on the computer than I am doing, staring at the camera and like being able to actually talk to you guys.
He is the voice of God.
I will be temporarily, yes. No, as you guys saw earlier, of course, I'm obviously wearing my feminine stuff. I'm transgendered, and I think I've mentioned this in the last cast, which obviously I'm still working on getting that up. I'm trying to get that footage rendered down.
Last cast was 2 weeks ago. We still haven't gotten the link up.
The joy of having problems with the computer. Anyway, so this is kind of a thing that is going to be affecting me a lot more as time goes by. I am on the full medication for it. I'm on, an estrogen patch. I'm on a medicine that basically stops testosterone production or not production, but it stops the intake of it in my body, and then a couple of extra vitamins as well. So, but the issue is coming down a lot where people are worried and dealing with the issue of transgenders using, this specific bathroom. And this pastor has his little tidbit here that we'll talk about. I just recently spotted this and thought we'd add it and see what comes of it. I have not watched this video fully yet.
That's honestly one of the first things that should give you a lead-in of what exactly this video is about. Is the guy introduces himself at the very beginning of the video as Pastor something.
Yep.
And that immediately tells you the tone of what the rest of it's going to be about.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and play.
Hey guys, Pastor Greg Locke here. So I didn't want to just believe everything that I've heard in the news media the last 48 hours. So I walked right through the front doors of our local Target, went to the customer service desk, found a manager, and I asked, "Can you please help me understand your new bathroom policy?" To which she shrugged her shoulders and smirked, knowing no doubt this question was coming from others. And she said, and I quote, "Well, basically, there's a new law that's been passed, and because of that law, it's our policy that you can now use the restroom that you self-identify with." To which I said, "Excuse me?" She said, "Yes, because of the new law, you can now use the restroom that you self-identify with." I said, "Like right now?" She said, "Yes, sir. Whichever bathroom you self-identify with, you are welcome to go and use right now." To which I pushed the issue, and she said, "Well, let me give you the number to our corporate headquarters if you need further information." And no, Target, I need no further information to know that you have lost your ever-loving mind. Are you kidding me? Your political correctness has caused you to do something extraordinarily stupid. You know why? Because you're not targeting and being inclusive to transgender people by doing this. They make up 0.03% of the population. What you are targeting are perverts.
All right, so this is, I'm going to throw a lot out here, and this is going to be a fucking angered rant, because I was in a Facebook conversation.
Before you do that, can I just say yay Target?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I'm glad for Target. I'm glad that Target is doing this, but to go to what I was trying to say is, excuse me. So the issue he's bringing up is a couple of things. One, he goes in, he asks the person at Target, not even a manager, he says. He's just talking to a random customer associate.
Customer service. He went to the customer service department and talked to a customer service representative.
Yeah, which technically in a job like Target or Walmart, I've worked for Walmart for a little while, you're all CSRs no matter what. It's all customer service representatives. The only difference is the managers, and usually the managers are not there at the customer service desk. That's just a couple of workers. But the person was good and said, "Hey, here's the information I know, and for any further information, here's information. Here's a number or a website to go to for corporate, and they'll be able to give you better info." Cool. She did her thing right, and he's admitting that off the bat, whether he knows it or not.
Yeah.
But then he gets to the point where he says, "Okay, well, you're not targeting everyone, or you're not targeting the transgenders at all. You're targeting everyone else, because the transgenders are only, what was it, 0.3% of the population in total?"
Said, yeah.
So here's a fucking amazing thing. haven't we had this issue before where we look at like the fact that people are despite being such a small minority that they still have rights, they still have like
civil rights. Granted, black people did comprise a larger percentage of the population than trans people do.
Indeed.
But they were still a minority and still mattered.
And yes, and that's the fucking point. They still mattered. One of the biggest problems that I have with people like this, and someone who, I have a friend who, maybe not as much a friend anymore, but I have an old soldier that I was with in Fort Hood and in Afghanistan. She was a great soldier. She did her thing right. She's loving, caring, and she was a great person. However, now, getting out, my views changing a lot. Going back and talking with her about stuff, I can't do it anymore because she's sitting to the very far right, highly religious. And she put up a post about Texas saying, Obama's not king. We're not going to listen to what his edict about the school thing, and we'll get to that in a minute. Tim, you're a little loud, please. Just a little loud. Sorry. It's okay. But yeah, so I got into the conversation with her about that. And of course, her thing is that, she thinks that, if you're a transgender person and you need to go to the bathroom, go to the family restroom. But how many fucking family restrooms do you have in a lot of these businesses? Less than fucking less than 20% actually have.
Especially here in Arizona, the only place where I have actually seen a family restroom, like a special restroom labeled as a family restroom, is in malls, like shopping malls.
Is in malls and in like Walmart. Walmart's back bathroom
Walmart's
is a family.
Back bathroom, yeah, but I mean like predominantly shown
right
next to the other bathrooms, only in shopping malls.
Yeah.
At least here in Arizona, I honestly have never when I've been in other states, I've never really particularly looked for it. But I've never noticed it before. But I've never really been to shopping malls expectantly in other states. I've been to a few here. Okay, but
of course you have Hope. Travel everywhere.
Can you confirm, Hope, that really the only place is here in Arizona? I know for a fact.
I mean,
having been to multiple different public businesses, the only place where I have seen a family restroom predominantly like noticeable next to male and female restrooms is in shopping malls like Metro Center Mall, Paradise Valley Mall, Arrowhead Mall, things like that. What have you seen?
Yeah, the only places I've seen are like malls or like some stadiums have them.
Some stadiums,
but like only,
okay, yeah, some
only like places like that, like.
But you're talking businesses that
like
have
big crowds and stuff.
But again, even other places in the country, you don't see any restaurants or you don't see any like grocery stores or anything that have family restrooms, do you?
No, not really. That's what I'm saying. Just like places where there's a lot of people. Like
so you're talking about businesses or buildings in general that usually have a relatively high dollar backing behind them to where they can actually afford to put in extra facilities simply for families versus your regular stuff. So what are you doing?
I'm seeing who's on the camera.
It's just Hope's on the camera there, and then you get him. But anyway, so okay, so his big thing is that he says, oh, it's the minority group of the country. They don't. You're forcing other people to have to deal with this. When did I fucking tell you you have to wear a fucking dress? For one, I would like to know that. And two, guess what, motherfucker? Here's an amazing concept in life. Things are gonna end up upsetting you at some point in time, and you have two ways of dealing with it. Like a fuck stick, like you are right now, or you can see it happen and let it pass out of your mind and not let it affect you. And the problem that I had was the conversation that I had with my ex-soldier was that, yes, she's for the transgenders to be able to go ahead and go use the family bathroom. But in the cases where there is no family bathroom, what's the alternative there? So do they have to get up from their meal and go across the street to another building to ask them so that they could go take a piss? No, fuck you. What about all those transgender people who may be passing facial features, bodily features, but the only difference is they haven't gotten that final touch, the bottom end surgery? What about them? You have a person who looks almost 100% female to you, and you're now forcing them to go into the male's bathroom because they have a penis? No, I don't fucking think so. What do you know, it's one of those situations where I understand people are allowed to have their own fucking, their own ideas about all this stuff. The thing is, though, is that when your ideas and your ways of dealing with the situation require even the minority of the country to sit there and have to be oppressed so that you can have your way, well, fuck you. Right to death. I don't give a shit. You can go to the hell I don't believe in, but that you do. I'm sorry. When bigoted people like to sit there and tell me that how, where I'm allowed to take a piss, no. Zero chance. Fuck you.
It's not even that it's just because they don't want to, they feel uncomfortable. It's like, I mean, get over it.
Yes, you're uncomfortable. I understand that not too many.
I feel uncomfortable when I go to a regular bar, so.
Yeah, well, the problem is nowadays, I'm very sorry, but everyone has this little fucking, like, this bitch mentality, and I'm not saying this as a derogatory term towards a woman. No, it's a pussy bitch mentality that comes from not having any goddamn ability to handle your own emotions and thoughts. You've never been trained or never had to in your lifetime force yourself to deal with issues. So the thing you want to do is tell everybody else that they have to run their lives based on what you want, not what everyone else, or for the people who don't care, or for the people who are dealing with the situation. Well, I'm sorry, but not all the time do you get your way in that.
Can I take a moment here?
Go ahead. I'm going to go get a drink really quick.
Okay.
I'm dying of thirst. I'm so dry mouth.
As far as this is concerned, I think it is a completely confused event. There's so much. There's so much positive points on both sides. Honestly, not that this guy's point was positive in any way. Honestly. This guy was taking a completely skewed perspective of it. The way I see the way Target has done things, I view it with mixed opinions. I applaud them for being open to transgender people and how they may identify. But I think that Target and other places that may institute this idea, there needs to be at least some stipulations involved. Like, okay, negate the fact that I am a cis white male.
You dirty fucking.
You're a monster. The evil pouring off of me because of that. Ignore that.
Every
fact.
feminist just immediately booed in anger and vomited on their pants.
Ignore that fact completely. Look at me as a person, the way I look and the way I am dressed.
Like a fucking wanker.
Should I be allowed in a woman's restroom? Honestly, personally, I don't think so. Even if I say that I identify as a woman, if I still distinctly look like a man, I should not be allowed in the women's restroom. I have seen plenty of transgender people, and Byrne is still
But
I'm at the very beginning still. I've only been in it for a month and a half.
He's still in the very beginning. He's barely been on the hormone treatment, but he is actually on it, and he is actively engaged in the transition. And even though you can't see him on camera, he is wearing a dress. He is wearing a skirt.
Well, you saw me earlier, for those who did.
Yeah, for those who saw him earlier, he is wearing a skirt. The way I see it is there needs to be some stipulations involved. If you are actively trying to show and portray the gender you identify as, then yes, you should be allowed to go into the restroom you identify as. If you are obviously trying as hard as you can to look like a woman, you should be allowed in the women's restroom. And if you are a woman, on the other side, if you are a woman if you were born, I'm sorry, if you were born female with female genitalia, but you identify as a man are in transition, if you are obviously making the effort to look more masculine than feminine because that is how you identify, it makes sense. You should be allowed to use the men's restroom. But there should be at least that much stipulation in, and people will call me transphobic, whatever, for saying that, but there should be some visual representation that you are actually making the effort to be this gender you say you identify as. If you are dressed like I am, distinctly in a male persona, but you walk into a women's restroom and you try and defend it with, oh, I identify as a female, no, that should not be allowed.
So, okay, so let me jump in here really quick. So, on the reasonable side, yes. That it does make sense, and that would be, and I would agree to some extent. If someone is actually,
I kind of have to agree with him.
Yeah,
just
and
just from a safety
If you
standpoint.
honestly identify as that gender, you should be making an effort to appear as the gender you identify with, correct?
yes, in some aspects, but you have to look at the kind of the individual people in some small aspects. Yeah, if someone's going in who is going male to female, goes in with a big beard. Yeah, that's probably not. He's probably, I won't say he's lying, but at that point in time, yeah, there's a very big point of contention. I can understand that. He doesn't look like he's going female. I can understand that. So, but
I need to bring up Sarah, our mutual friend Sarah, who is original birth given name Thomas.
You all right, love?
Sarah,
hey,
still, for the most part, in outward appearance, every time I have seen her, looks more male than female. And she cannot help that because she is still in transition. But you can obviously tell, it is distinctly obvious that Sarah is making as much of an effort as she can at this point to appear female. Granted, her appearance, I have to say, looks more male than female.
So really,
she wears the makeup. She wears acrylic nails in stylistic ways.
Yeah.
She makes a specific point to look as female as she can at this stage in her transition.
So let me stop once again really quick. So, and you didn't get to see this because you didn't get to go to the graduation this last week. Yeah. When she went in for graduation for her second bachelor's degree, just on Tuesday actually this very week, she was underneath her regalia, was wearing a black dress, and had her hair back. Everything was nice. Okay, you have my card. Yes, your wallet. Where else would it be? You have my card. Okay. Anyway, so You put it in there yesterday. Remember? You went and got smokes with it.
All right, I got it.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Anyways, so she was wearing her full black dress. Like she's got a couple of them, I think, but. And again, you mentioned having the makeup on, having the nails and all that stuff. But in that case, honestly, I can easily see the female side, the almost androgynous female side at that point. Now you can't maybe necessarily see it when she goes around after work or after school, because at that point maybe that's at the end of the day you're scraggly, you just don't look that great. Okay, there's a thing. For me, for example, right now, obviously, my hair is growing a little bit. I'm letting it grow finally. But my nails are trimmed, right? I still they're all banged up. I'm cut up everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So I don't look very female, of course. But if I were coming home from work, for example, you would think me fully male no matter what, because despite the slightly long hair, I'm dressed up in the same thing that you are, with jeans on, a black shirt that only has my company's logo on it. I'm dusty, I'm dirty, I look like I've just been crawling around over a stack of speakers that have been just covered in dust for months, which is what I look like every day when I come home. But if I'm, but the thing is, if I'm not showing 100%, I think there's another aspect of this that I may get a little sidetracked, but the aspect is that on the side of the person who is transgendered, we too, of course, have a responsibility in this. I'm not at all ever going to sit there and say that it's just, it's everyone else has to accommodate to us, because, I do believe that everyone has the right to take a fucking piss wherever they want to, because... Yeah, go ahead. I will pause the cam for a second there. But despite my belief that everyone should be able to go and take a piss wherever they need to, because it's a bodily function. Hey, it's an amazing concept. That it shouldn't matter as much, but it's our responsibility as well to make sure that if at the time frame that we're trying to do this, that we kind of take a quick assessment of ourselves. If we're, still looking highly male going into the transgender or going into the female's bathroom, I can understand the upset. And yeah, and I believe that, okay, yeah, I'll go with kind of what does he call himself? The Scotsman? The belligerent Scotsman? I don't know. I've never heard that. Something like that. Anyway, so what Brigham was saying there was that if you look like a man, you shouldn't be allowed into the women's restroom. I can accept that to some extent, and it's a part of it's on us too to be very cognizant of what other people around us see in us as we're just coming in off the street to, go and buy something in Target and go take a piss. So, what do you have, Hope? What do you think here?
My only thing, I would agree with, I'm just going to call him the Scotsman because I can't remember what the hell he calls himself.
Yeah, you have too many, your name's too long.
Just stick with the base of Scotsman.
Yeah, the Scotsman. That's
Scotsman.
You're the Scotsman. Anyway, I'm going to agree with him as far as, most of it, I guess. I don't know. But just from, a safety, point, as a woman, if I went in the woman's bathroom and this, really obvious
if a guy
male
like me
came into the
if a guy
bathroom,
who
I
looked
would
like
be a little
me was
concerned.
in there, would you feel comfortable?
Yeah, I would feel a little concerned.
That was weird.
That's my thing.
All right, okay,
I mean,
I
aside from that,
I know there was something I wanted to chime in on before I went.
Yeah, go ahead.
To take a piss, but it was it's the fact that.
He's thinking. We're talking about
dumbass people.
Well, okay, so an aspect of this that
it was what you were talking about before I went to take it was
He's trying.
Oh no, okay, I've got it. It's the fact that people who are trans are in transition. It's like you, for example, and I understand. Yeah, you are trans. You identify more as a woman than as a man, and sometimes, like when you get off of work, you may be dressed more or less like I am, and but you should still feel comfortable using the bathroom that you identify as. The way I look at it is a woman getting off of the same job that you are getting off of. A person who was born a woman would look differently. And the fact that you are in transition to being a woman is what causes you to look more masculine when you get off of work. Am I correct?
Yes and no, because but you got to remember, I work in a job where getting hot and sweaty, getting just wrinkled up, getting dirt and dust and stuff on you is a normal thing. Because working concerts and big shows, we have cases that go through, that we do shows outside, indoors, and everyone looks a mess when they're done. So it's kind of a balance.
I fully understand that. I'm an electrician, and I used to be with the IBEW, with the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. I was a union electrician, and there were women in the union. And when they got off work, yeah, they were doing the exact same job as us. But when they got off work, you could still, like during work, and when you got off work, you could still tell that they were a woman. You could tell the difference between the man getting off of this same job and the woman getting off of this exact same job, doing the exact same thing. And so what I'm saying is, I honestly don't mean to be discriminatory in any way. The reason you specifically look more male when you're getting off work is because you are in the beginnings of your transition. And that will change over time. Eventually, once you are in the final stages of the transition, you most likely will look more feminine, even getting off of work at this same job, than you would right now.
To some point, yeah. And like I said, this is where I think that anyone who is transgender also has to take their portion of responsibility and say, okay, if I'm looking especially X today versus Y, or whatever,
exactly. It should
we should have the foresight.
The rest of society should not need to cater completely. Society needs to cater to minority groups on some occasions. I will admit that, but not unconditionally. There are some situations where the minority groups need to give a little, and when you're a trans person, it's like I hate to use you as the example, but
it's okay. You're not going to piss me off.
The most immediate, yeah, exactly. You're the most immediate example present who can actually defend themselves. I have other situations I could bring up, but those people that I mentioned cannot defend themselves and defend what I may say about them. You are here to do so.
Yeah, and in this case, you're also not just pulling up anecdotes. You're giving it something more specific.
Yeah, exactly. It's you in particular. You are still in the early stages of transition. You've spent more of your life using a male bathroom with no problem whatsoever psychologically, correct?
Yeah, no, it's never been an issue, and that's again why I'm saying, the transgender person has to be able to balance it too. All I'm saying is
it comes down to the individual, and you as an individual. This is why I fully respect you more than a lot of the transgender YouTubers and everything that you see nowadays. I respect you because you understand the fact that you are still early in your transition, and as a transgender, that is a different state than being later on in your transition. The fact, and the way it should be is yes, transgender people are a minority, and yes, they do deserve rights, but they don't need to be unconditionally surrendered to. There are some places where they need to make exceptions themselves. They need to make personal surrenders.
The problem is the problem that I've seen thus far, and while there's I don't know specifically of any laws offhand that where the verbiage would be as such, but the issue that I've heard a lot from a lot of different people, a lot of different transgender people, is that the biggest worry is that the law is going to state, okay, that transgender people are not allowed to use the bathroom they identify with. Okay, but where does and it's just that kind of vagueness is the problem, and that's the biggest worry, because too many people don't talk about the nuance. They talk about the generalization. So when you have a politician who's writing up a law that's being put on the books, and it says transgender people are not allowed to use the bathroom they identify as, where's the line? Does it stop when they're, again, like I said, does it stop when they're when they've done bottom half surgery? Does it stop when their face and their upper body and just their overall form figure is feminine looking? What if the person has gone through the full transition, but of course was still male, for example, beforehand? But you've got this vague law that says no transgendered people are allowed to go use the fucking bathroom.
Exactly.
And then you have to put a woman going into the male's restroom, and you're complaining that the guys are going to go in and be perverts versus the women, the now women needing to go into this bathroom and getting accosted by a man doing the same thing, because you're going to have that more often.
That is the problem with the
I have a
government getting
solution.
involved in this type of thing anyway.
Yeah.
At all. Oh, I'm sorry. Hope has something to say before I chime in.
We stepped on her again.
Okay, best solution ever, make all bathrooms neutral.
See, there's the thing. Here's the thing, though. In many other cultures, mind you, slightly older cultures and ones that are a little less developed, you don't. There's a lot of cultures that don't care. They don't have a bathroom like thing set up, because like
there's some cultures
they all shit in a corner. It's the same one,
That's my point. Like, I mean, there's even places here that are like neutral bathrooms, and no one says anything.
Yeah. So, and it's because of
Just make them all neutral, and we're good.
No, here's the thing. You can't make them all neutral, because then that is discriminating against a certain percentage of the population who do not want to use bathrooms with these people. Honestly, the only way to deal with the situation
I don't know.
is for all institutions to open up a third bathroom that is gender exclusive.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that argument so much, but the problem is,
it's gonna cost them a lot of money, and some can't afford it. But okay.
So you're gonna kill a business, someone's business, on the sake of. I mean, I don't think you're gonna kill a business on the basis of building a bathroom, of course, but remodeling all of their chains.
What I'm saying is that is the only true solution. It is
No, I don't think so.
It is not a feasible
personally.
solution. I'm not saying it's a feasible solution. I'm not saying it could actually ever be done.
Well, no,
I'm saying that it is the only solution that would ever actually work.
Yeah.
Okay, from my
hang on.
It can't be done though. That's the problem.
Go ahead, Hope. Go ahead.
Okay, from my experience though, the neutral thing, like turning a bathroom just to neutral, actually works just fine.
If it's singular bathrooms, right?
Huh?
If it's singular bathrooms, such as having two family-style bathrooms where you can go in and close the door.
No, like full bath, like a bathroom like you would go that has a bunch of stalls on it. Like
I want to ask, where have you seen this? Because I've been around a lot, but I don't know if I haven't seen that personally. That's all I want to know.
Honestly, Hope, if you were walking into a bathroom and you saw me walking out of a stall to wash my hands, would you feel comfortable?
If you put a little pink bow in your hair, I might consider it.
Okay. No, if the bathroom was neutral,
okay, let her talk now. God.
If the bathroom was a neutral bathroom, then yes. See, there's a different stigma. If it's a neutral bathroom, then everyone assumes that everyone's going to be using it. The only stigma is whenever you label it oh, this is the woman's bathroom. Oh, this is the men's bathroom.
But that's not an
Like-
argument that every bathroom should be completely gender neutral. Because
But if it
some
is,
no,
then it
no,
won't be a
because
problem.
some people, it's not me, honestly. Personally, I really don't care.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I would
I know,
not
Hope.
have any problem with someone. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just saying there are people that exist that all bathrooms being gender neutral, they would have a problem with it. There are people that exist that have a problem.
There's people that have a problem with the fact that I would wear a white T-shirt around the fucking yard of my own house. There are people who would be upset that I'm wearing 2 mismatched socks. I'm sorry, but when you've got even this large group of people who are just pissed off about something that's completely irrational in some cases, I'm not saying in all, but in some, well, now you're just talking about the fucking crazies who are trying to figure out where the aliens are coming from and where's the Illuminati. No, it doesn't. That's the type of people who are so irrational that they can't think past, like, maybe a book, for example, in some cases. Because I'm going to tell you, like this guy, it's the very same thing. You hear it most, and I'm saying most, from people with religion. Go ahead, Hope. Go ahead.
Let's comment. Our bathrooms at home are neutral bathrooms.
Very true.
Yeah, but the exception to that is you don't often have.
Bathroom with a single toilet that when a person
So,
is using it, they close and lock the door.
The point is, we have
seen a
neutral
single
bathrooms
house with a
everywhere
bathroom
except
with
for
more
at
than 2
stores.
toilets. I have never seen a house.
I have seen. I have not seen physically seen. I have seen a lot of books, like magazines and shit, where they have shown bathrooms that are designed with 2 toilet stalls next to each other in a standard house bathroom. And the tub that's in it is like almost like a what do you call it, a yin yang, so that they can.
I'm not going to deny it because I've never seen it, but that just
I'm sure it's like 1 or 2 houses that may have that. It's for the eccentric weirdo.
Just because I've never seen it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
I like to go shit with my lover.
But for the most part, if you look at 99.9%,
yeah,
houses,
exactly. It's one.
There are no multiple toilets for one restroom.
Yeah, it's always just one. Yeah, I got what you're saying.
And I understand the idea of
Hope like a fish.
Gender neutral bathroom. I just don't think that every bathroom should be gender neutral because that's the opposite extreme. And extremes are what we don't want to deal with.
I think the problem is that that's mostly what we're dealing with when it comes to these kinds of people.
That is the problem. Extremes are the problem. Everybody wants this extreme or the other extreme. Where the fuck is the neutral ground?
It's nuance is the spice of life.
Men's bathroom for people who only want to use the restroom with men to use. Women's bathroom for people who only want. Once again, I said it's the best solution, although it's not fully feasible because not all businesses can employ it. They can't financially employ it. But the fact of the matter is, like Target, their policy is good in the fact that they are allowing transgender people that freedom. But there, like I said before, there has to be at least some concession on the trans people's part that they make the effort to look the gender they identify as.
Yeah, we said that to death, so...
Yeah, we're just repeating ourselves at this point. Hold up. Because this is one of my videos.
Let him introduce it. Yeah.
Christ, we need an introduction.
Try to make it a little bit more concise than your last one. Your last intro was weird.
And into your mic.
Yeah, and into your mic. I move it.
This particular video it's Gazi Kodzo, who is a part of the international
name is that?
movement.
What?
It's not his given name.
Well, no, I got that.
It's his African assumed name, and
so
he is an African nationalist, black supremacist,
Not quite Black Panther, right?
No,
But-
he's beyond Black Panther.
Oh, so he's farther. He's like farther to that side, like people who are like make the KKK look, tame.
Oh, unbelievably! This guy, this guy
Meow.
is the equivalent of what the KKK
thought I heard a cat.
was back in the 1930s and 40s. And first of all, you have to realize the KKK today is not the ominous racist boogeyman that everyone portrays it to.
I was gonna say, aren't they like not even 500 strong anymore?
No,
Didn't like 160 of them kill themselves?
No. There was actually more than that. That was actually just a satirical thing that I posted one time. I actually looked it up. But out of the, I think, 17 million people in America, the Ku Klux Klan's membership is only 5,000 to 8,000.
When did we drop to 17 million people? We're at 300 million plus.
No, it may have been 17.
You are off on your number, sir.
I am.
You are very off on your number. We are over 300 million strong in this country.
I can't remember the honest numbers, but I do remember the percentage that I equated it to. I know for a fact the KKK membership as of 2013 was 5,000 to 8,000 members, which I equated to being 0.0002% of the U.S. population.
Yeah, so we're looking at, let's see, current population, 321 million people.
All right, 321 million people. Divide that by 3, at the most, 8,000. 8,000.
From CNN is stating that, this article I just pulled up, by the way, I don't know how accurate everything is, says that the people who monitor it, in the 1920s, they boasted nearly 5 million members, and the Klan has a membership now of about 5,000. The Southern Poverty Law Center actually gives it a lower estimate of around 3,000.
I've seen 5,000 to 8,000. You're saying 3,000 to 5,000.
That's what CNN's saying, so let's just go with the 5.
Let's be the racist fucking white people we are and give the KKK the benefit of the doubt and say that their membership is 8,000.
Okay, so we'll give them the high.
Okay, we'll give them the extreme high of 8,000. And what was the
321 million.
321 million.
We're doing math on show. This is terrible. When did I go back to school?
8,000.
I thought we just left this, didn't we? Hey, Hope, did I show you you haven't gotten your degree yet, have you? You haven't finished it yet, right? You haven't gotten that one last online course? You best get it. Hey, I actually got mine now. I'm going to put it up on the wall eventually.
Oh, God.
He's doing math, and he's doing math badly.
820 no. 321 million.
17.83.
Hope's like, I did this like 15 minutes ago.
Divided by 8,000.
17 million.
So you're just like putting random numbers out there to screw with them now. Have you figured it out yet?
Dude, 321 divided or whatever.
No, it
by
is
18.
0.000024%. That is hundreds, thousands, tens to hundreds, thousands, millions. 2 billionths of a percent
of the populace.
The KKK institutes 2 billionths.
I feel
of
like
a percent of the U.S. populace. They are a small percentage of insane racists that are out there. They are not some ominous boogeyman that institutes every aspect of America. The KKK has not infiltrated everywhere in the U.S. They are 2 billionths of a percent of the U.S. population, and that is at the absolute extreme maximum of their membership.
It's crazy. All right. Anyway, so let's get going with this. We've been
This is
fiddle-faddling around.
This is Ghazi Kodzo. What he calls the no-lip debate.
So
and he'll explain what that means himself. Go ahead and play the video.
This is kind of long though. We won't play the whole thing. Might skip through a little bit.
We don't need to play the whole thing. We can.
Let's kind of get like the beginning and maybe another spot in the middle of his arguments, and then go on.
Yeah.
Kwame y'all, how y'all doing today, my African people, my comrades in revolution? I have got an amazing treat for y'all today. Now, have you ever seen CNN or MSNBC or?
Pick up my ass.
First of all, this nigga. Yes, I just said that being a white person. Fuck your feelings.
Just go with it.
This nigga needs to tone down his Ruby Rod act. Are we green?
Damn.
Are we green? Super green? Seriously, no. One thing I do have
That's so
to,
gay.
One thing I do have to.
That's so gay, and I'm gay.
No, one thing.
Fuck.
One thing I do have to point out about this guy in a completely different video that I don't even have on our list. He says he is not gay because gay. Homosexual is a white thing. He is same-gender loving, which is an African social construct.
Dude, okay, I'm gonna watch like 3 minutes of this. I'm gonna go into the back room and I'm gonna smash myself in the head with a hammer until I'm dead.
No, yeah,
I'll stick an ice pick up my ass.
That
Fuck
is
it.
actually a quote from him. He is not gay because gay is a white thing.
Bitch, you're more a faggot than I am.
He is a same-gender lover because same-gender loving is an African social construct made for Africans.
Citation
by
needed.
Africans.
Citation.
Fox News, where they love to pit black people against each other, right? They have the one black person that represents, like, you know, the movement, or it's supposed to be like for the people and stuff, and then they have the other black person who represents white power and is the coon, the bootlicker, you know, the one that likes to jiggle Massa's balls in his mouth, and then they pit them against each other and have them fight, and then for entertainment of white people, you know, eating popcorn.
The fuck are you talking about?
Jiggle Massa's balls in their mouth. What he's talking about is when any media outlet, any conservative media outlet, has a black conservative
Yeah, I know.
debate a black liberal, they always refer to that black conservative and shout out to Andrew Black Rebel Dunham. He's a black man who is for all Confederate heritage.
Okay.
It's this whole idea of the fact that any black man that has an opinion different from the black supremacists is a coon, is a house nigga, is an Uncle Tom. Which, honestly, I'm sorry, you stupid motherfuckers. Racism not racism, slavery. Slavery no longer exists in the United States. And therefore...
Well, on the basis of what it used to be, there is still such a thing as slavery in this United States, but it's not
slavery.
Yeah, it's not the same thing anymore.
It's not anywhere near the same thing. Black slavery does not exist. Just because a black person has a different opinion from the majority of liberal black people does not mean they are a house nigga.
I love the air quotes on that one.
No,
he a house nigga.
It's house
What the
nigga.
fuck?
That's the distinction that the majority of field working slaves gave to the black people that honestly kissed up to their white masters a bit more and were allowed to work inside of the house rather than out in the field. This is a term that black people constantly today equate to black conservatives. They're house niggas. Because apparently slavery still exists. I'm sorry, motherfucker. You never worked no field. You have no right to call
and, no seasoning food at home, right? So I was thinking we need to do something like that here at the Uhuru House. So I started thinking, I want to pit Cave Beast against Cave Beast.
I don't believe you ever thought about anything in your life.
Cave Beast against Cave Beast. That is one of his many racially derogatory terms for white people. Here's the list of the general ones he likes to use for white people. Cave Beast / Cave Becky. Cave Beast being the male and Cave Becky being the female.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Toilet seat complexion motherfuckers.
Toilets. Oh my God! I want to use that now on myself.
No,
I used to make the joke that I've got so many European nationalities in me that I make Casper look black.
What I find funny is my complexion may be close to a toilet seat, but your complexion is close to what's in the toilet.
Oh.
Troglodyte against troglodyte. No melanin having ass against no melanin having ass. Toilet seat complexion individual against toilet seat complexion individual. Lassie-haired mother effer against another lassie-haired mother effer.
Okay, so you're being just racist as fuck, but you're not willing to say fuck. Good job. That's censorship of yourself in like the dumbest way possible. Good job, you fucking tard. I just listening to this is giving me brain hemorrhages.
No, the reason why I chose this video...
Because you want to torture me.
No.
Because you're an ass.
I only put 2 videos from Ghazi up on this list.
We only have 6 videos, by the way.
We probably won't even get
7.
to the second one.
No, we won't.
But,
not
but
a chance.
This one, I'm actually happy that this one came out before the other one. This one actually gotten to. Because this is one... Because Ghazi... and his Uhuru movement, his Uhuru black supremacist movement,
I wonder where he got that name.
Has actually brainwashed and subjugated some white people to their cause. And you will notice, because what he's mentioning, his whole deal is he's talking about the times that the media has a black conservative versus a black liberal.
Yeah.
What he wants to do here is have a white Uhuru movement slave I refer to them as a white slave because you will understand why I refer to them as such once you see the way he treats them when they come on screen and the way they allow themselves to be treated by him.
All right.
And
what were you gonna
another quote-unquote white person. He wants to have a debate between a white person for his movement and a white person against his movement.
Okay. What were you going to say? Because you were going to say something there for a moment, I think.
Oh, I was just confused what he meant, but then he answered my question, so go ahead.
All right.
So today, my comrades, my Africans, I bring you the no lip to create a perfect America for all complexion individual. Lassie-haired mother effer against another lassie-haired mother effer. So today, my comrades, my Africans, I bring you the no lips debate of 2016. A hooroo. So the first no lip debater is Jesse Neville.
Uhuru.
Tell the people who you is, Jesse.
I'm Jesse with the Uhuru.
Hold on. Your tone is kind of...
Watch. No, put it back 5 seconds and watch. Watch how Ghazi treats this guy and how he allows himself to be treated.
Well, I was just going to say, now I've seen a couple of the... I've actually seen clips of this dude now that I've seen this motherfucker too. Yeah, this dude is... He a bitch.
Yeah, just watch.
He a bitch.
So the first no lip debater is Jesse Neville.
Uhuru.
Tell the people who you is, Jesse.
I'm Jesse with the Uhuru.
Hold on. Your tone is kind of loud. This is my office, okay? I don't feel comfortable with your cave ass up in here talking all kinds of different levels and shit, okay? Talk at this level right here. You see this?
Yep.
That's the level that's comfortable in my African office.
I'm Jesse with the Uhuru Solidarity Movement.
Better, yes. Good. Now, the next no-lip debater is a good friend of mine and y'all's. His name is Larry.
I don't believe
Aroo-daroo, hey, what's going on, everybody? Hello, everybody. Aroo-daroo, Jesse.
Uhuru.
Well, you know what? I'm just fine with this because mayonnaise is in this. I now want a sandwich. Anyways, I'm done. I can't watch it anymore. This is just the
need
dumbest.
to watch anymore because
I'm done. Yeah.
That bit right there is what breaks down the entirety of
Equality.
No.
And honestly, pause it for a second.
I'm pausing it. I was just moving to the next one, so it's ready to go.
No, honestly, you should make sure to give everybody the link to that video because they should watch it in their time and see exactly what happens. But
me
you
do things?
You do get the
bastard.
gist of what happens over that video just from that first minute and a half. This black guy who comes from an upper middle class family and used to him, he got a modeling career thanks to his mom having a modeling career. He made a shitload of money and then all of a sudden turned into a African activist claiming that all white people are racist. It doesn't matter.
South Park was right.
All white people are racist.
South Park was right. In Here Comes the Neighborhood.
All white people are colonialists. That we are currently enslaving black people. That we are currently...
So this is what, to me, this tells me one big
racism.
thing.
But if people won't allow that to be said because black people can't be racist, white people can't be the subject of racism. What is reverse racism? Reverse racism is a complete load of bullshit. Because no matter who the target is, no matter who the proponent is, racism is racism. Welcome to reality. White people can be the target of racism. It is a matter of fact.
It's like, backwards reverse logic. It's just circular reasoning. Yeah. I don't know. I'm done with that one. That was terrifying. I just want to know, and I want to know how people fucking survive. Like, how do they wake up and actually breathe in the morning under their own thought processes? Because God knows that fucking there's no chance in hell they've got anything else cycling up there other than jabber, 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 jabber. YouTube.
Keep in mind that the Uhuru movement
sounds like it's from Star Trek.
No, it is a growing. Uhuru is
sounds like a song.
Swahili word for freedom.
It still sounds like Star Trek.
But it is a movement that believes that black people in America, even those that were born in America, should not acknowledge the fact that they are American in any way. They should only acknowledge that they are African. Every single black person in every single country is African.
Yeah, well, that's patently false because that's not how the DNA structure works.
Everybody should identify themselves solely by their ancestry, and that's bullshit.
What? What did you say, Hope?
I said there's other black people in other countries. They didn't all come from Africa.
No, that's the real thing right there.
Jesus was a black guy.
No, it's the fact that people have this identity that continents determine a race. It's a fact that, I'm sorry, Egyptians are not African. Yes, they are on the continent of Africa, but they are not black. They're Egyptian. They
Not all
are
Africans are
Mediterranean.
black. Thank you.
In their skin
Have you
tone,
seen that Disney movie?
What?
Say what?
I said not all Africans are black. Have you seen that Disney movie?
Which one now?
Let's not even get into Disney. But
No, because we're not watching any Vigilant Christian Mario videos. That's going to be a thing soon.
God.
I'm going to bring that motherfucker up.
No,
He's funny.
These black supremacists honestly believe that every single country in Africa produces black people.
They don't?
Not true.
I don't know.
It's like they honestly believe that every single country in Europe produces white people. I'm sorry, but where do you think Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, where are those countries? They aren't in Asia. They're Eastern Europe.
No, they're not. They're Middle Eastern, dirty Middle Eastern toads. Anyway, so let's.
It's Europe.
I know, I get that. So it's fine.
Continents do not determine a race. Just because somebody is from Africa does not mean they are black. Just because somebody is black does not mean they are African. I actually work with someone who comes from Jamaica. Currently at the job I'm at, the job site I'm at.
That was a weird accent click there. You're Jamaican, like the way you said it was like going from trying to go from a Scotsman to trying to be like trying to have the Jamaican voice in a Scottish voice. What the fuck was that? It's the way you said Jamaican.
What the fuck did I go Scottish?
You went fucking Jamaican Scottish. What the fuck was that?
No, I'm wondering whether the fuck I went Scottish.
Anyways,
I'm wondering
this a while
whether I
ago.
went Scottish for fuck's sake.
He does. He
going back and forth, so.
It is. Anyways, okay. So,
no, but I actually work with someone. The person I'm on a job site with right now is Jamaican. He actually came from Jamaica, not African.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've got a bunch of buddies the same way. Fucking
like black people are not necessarily from Africa. White people are not necessarily European.
Hey man, I worked with when I was up over the Desert Ridge up here, man. Fucking, we had a Jamaican dude. Paulie's awesome, man. DJ Schoolboy, if you guys haven't ever heard of him, fucking check him out. I'm pimping his shit. But so for this, I'm gonna jump because this is gonna be our last video for the night. Because we're already at 2 hours and 11 minutes, so we're gonna go ahead and use this as our last one, and whatever closing remarks. So this is Pat Robertson of the 700 Club. I'm surprised this guy is still.
700.
Oh, you can see in the background.
You couldn't have picked the more.
Well, I mean, the only thing I've got to say is this poor chimp, man.
The fucking Christ, dude. The 700 Club. There's like Christian, the Westboro Baptist Church, and then the 700 Club.
That's why I love the South Park version of it so much better. We here at the 800 Club need your donations so we can make an interstellar cruiser to go and bring the word of Jesus to these Martians.
If you're like me, I'm appalled. I'm simply appalled that the United States government, with all of its power and all of its money, is going to spend all this time and effort making sure that the fraction of 1% of people who are so-called transgenders can go into the women's or the men's bathrooms. I mean, how absurd can you get? How does this become a great civil rights issue? You know, this is absurd. And if there is a shift in administration, and I think there's going to be from what the polls begin to show us, if there is a shift in administration, Loretta Lynch will be out on her ear. She will no longer be the Attorney General of the United States, and of course that means that this particular suit by the federal government will be dismissed by the federal government. But to penalize the state billions of dollars, take away school funding, because they don't want men going into women's bathrooms? I mean, isn't this awful?
Yes, Grandpa, everything is awful. We know. Just keep rambling on for the camera. It's okay, Pat. He makes money.
Here's the thing about that. It's this guy. He's taking the completely wrong position on the issue. It's the fact that it's not the transgender people in bathrooms issue that he needs to be discussing with what he's trying to discuss. Because we already talked about that. And it should be allowed, but there should be at least some stipulations.
Yeah, yeah.
But with this, it's the whole idea. It's what just recently happened with Obama saying that all public schools had to allow people who identify as different genders to go into the bathroom and use the bathroom and showers of the gender they identify as. And honestly, I have no problem with certain stipulations of people using public restrooms.
Yeah, we went over all this. We went over it all.
But when it comes down to schools, as a parent, I have an 8-year-old daughter, and even she's a bit younger than I'm thinking they're...
Watch your cherry gets her.
Because they're, I think they're talking more high school than elementary school when they're talking to public schools.
I would hope so. When it comes down to the elementary side, I don't...
because I don't think an elementary school student is even going to be identifying as transgender unless their parents force it upon them.
He does bring that up, kind of, as I recall.
Wonder, and they make a big civil rights thing about it. It's got nothing to do with civil rights. It's just absurd. It's merely part of the socialist, humanist agenda to destroy the Judeo-Christian fabric of this nation. That's what it's all about. We want to take away everything that you considered morality and everything you considered decency, and we're going to run roughshod over you, and if you don't like it, that's tough.
Yeah, good job, Grandpa. Good job. I've heard his ramblings a lot. I listen to a lot of this stuff. Right Wing Watch is kind of one of my favorite things anymore, just because you get to hear these like really insane rants from these, you know, this crazy old hunchback that's just chilling here in front of us, you know, slowly dying as we watch, and he's just like, it's not a civil rights activist, or it's not a civil rights issue. It's all about trying to oppress Christians and their belief system. And you hear that. He says it directly, because his whole thing is this fucking mental conspiracy, because Grandpa's off in the fucking clouds already before he's died, and his mind is sitting there saying, oh no, this shit's going down. I gotta say something about it. Do you know anything about it? No! But fuck it, I'm gonna talk about it anyways. Fucking monkey.
This is the thing, because no matter how much I decry against the extremely far liberal left, the ultimate fucking conservative right is just as full of shit. It's this Christian viewpoint is that I'm not even atheist, but
well, yeah, but you're a dudist and a Pastafarian.
This Christian viewpoint is just.
May you be touched by his noodly appendage.
No, it's just
ramen. Sorry. I can't help it.
I'm not even going to bring up the person's age, because it's like Bernie Sanders is about this guy's age and believes on the complete opposite spectrum.
Of course, it's just the thing is this really Pat Robertson has just been on the 700 Club for like 4 decades now, and he's. I mean, granted, he hasn't really changed too many of his positions, so at least he's consistent.
That has nothing to do with his age. That has the fact to do with the fact that he's been on the 700 Club
exactly
for decades. This ultra fucking Christian bullshit that just like.
And we found out that Sally Struthers has a Tiberian junker, and it has extensively large shields on it. So we need your cash to be able to create a positron laser to be able to puncture it and stop her from, taking over our ship.
South Park did cover the 700 Club
yes,
perfectly.
They did.
But the thing this guy's talking about, how President Obama just he declared that all public schools will allow people to use bathrooms based on the gender they identify as. That's honestly, I'm a proponent of transgender people being able to use the bathrooms they identify as long as they're actually showing that they.
Yeah, we talked about this.
We've talked about that already. But when it comes to schools,
see you, Hope.
To fucking minors, I'm sorry, if you're 14 years old and you say that you're transgender, you don't know who the fuck you are.
I was going to say, when I was 14, I was still trying to figure out how to beat certain levels on Donkey Kong Country. So, no, I didn't know shit.
When I was 14, I honestly thought that magic existed. I'm not going to deny that. I was in high school, and I thought that I might actually... that the Christian movement had just tried to suppress it, and that on a metaphysical sense, magic existed. I honestly believed that when I was in high school. It's not true. It's not true in any way or sense. It's not factual in any sense of reality. But I believed it when I was in high school. I'm sorry, if you believe you're transgender in high school, you're in high school. You don't know who the fuck you are. You're still trying to figure that out.
Well, I mean,
I don't know. I think in high school I think you would know by then.
For some people, yes. For some people, yes. But
I'm
for
a completely
an example,
different person than I ever was in high school. Right now, as a 33-year-old, I am polar opposite of the person I was in high school.
Well, yeah, and that I was going to say that very same thing. I grew up Christian. My whole family was. My dad had been in a Baptist church for more years than I can count as a deacon rather. You know, always being a part of the church. My mom not quite as much, but still went. And then when I moved from one school to another, every school I'd ever been in has been nothing more than Christian schools. So my mindset the whole time, all the way through high school, was that of being heavily inundated in Christian dogma.
Yeah, okay.
In
well,
high
I
school.
can see that.
And then when I left and I traveled the world a little bit, thank you very much, U.S. military, and saw more points of perspective than just the one I'd always been raised with, well, I started having a lot of doubts. Come the age of 25, 26, when I'm getting out of the Army, I come in here and move to Phoenix, and my entire world changes because, one, I start getting out and doing certain things I've never done before. One of those things being the pony group that we're in. What are you doing?
I'm just moving.
Oh, okay. You're like moving everywhere. So, and the other one was the change in my mindset of going from being highly religious to being atheist. And I will more than happily say it, because I look at my life now and what it was and realize how wrong I was on so many things, and how I had so many signs of certain things when I was younger that I suppressed because of it. So as a teenager, yeah, I think it's a lot harder for them to truly know. Some of them still can, of course. I'm not saying that they can't, but in some cases, you're going to have a lot of people who are really, who are going to, claim that they are transgender, or they perceive themselves to be a different gender. But they may not actually know that,
It's the Transgender movement.
And that's a decent name for it, I guess.
It's
if you
the
want
fact
to be
that
kitschy.
because of the new social justice movement, a lot of people who want to identify themselves as something different than the mainstream solely to exclude themselves from the mainstream, they want to take on this transgender aspect to them, even though that may not be truly who they are. A lot of teenagers are claiming to be transgender when they really aren't, just because they want this identification, to be part of this bit, that this movement. It's a motive of acceptance. It's not even who they aren't actually transgender. They don't honestly feel that they are a different gender. They force it on themselves in order to.
They just want to be able to fit in, is what the thing is. They hear a lot of people are transgender, plow my nose.
Yeah, I'm not saying that all transgender people are like that, but it is.
But when you're
much
looking at the
more
teenagers,
common. It is much more common among high schoolers, particularly, to be claiming you're a particular identification when 4 or 5 years later you realize you aren't. You realize that you're just trying to be this particular thing. You were trying to find your identity. And in your experimentation, you thought this may have been your identity. So you identified as that. But then later you found out it wasn't. it's the fact that Obama wants public.
I thought I was a soldier once.
Huh?
So I thought I was a soldier once.
Right?
That was the thing I wanted to do.
I have no problem with, like we discussed earlier, under certain stipulations, transgender people using the bathroom of their choice. But not in public schools. Private schools, you know, it's up to the institution, the privately owned institution, to understand, to determine what they want. But public schools should not be forced to do this, because these are these are children. They aren't even legally old enough to vote for the most part.
Yeah.
Like
no
only
kidding.
half of seniors are old enough to vote. And these people are being told that they're allowed to use whatever bathroom they choose just because they think they may identify as this other gender?
Yeah. It's I mean, that's the joy. This is a very highly complex issue, and I don't think there's ever going to be one good specific, you know,
it comes
thing
down
for it.
once again, military.
And indeed.
These students are not considered old enough by the federal government to make their own decisions about whether they join the military.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be 18 before you can join the military, because before that point, you are not allowed to make your own decisions about what you do.
Now, technically, you can
And
go in
yet-
at 17, but that's with you know, the consent
that's
of
with
the parent.
parental permission.
Yeah.
That's with guardian consent.
Yeah.
You aren't allowed to make these decisions, even
Cat face.
as something as simple as fighting for your country. You aren't allowed to make
Meow.
these decisions until you're 18, yet Obama is trying to say that 14-year-olds should be allowed to walk into 14-year-old males should be allowed to walk into a restroom for females just because they say that they identify as a female. That's bullshit. It's not inclusivity. That's bullshit.
That's a
I'm sorry.
that's a convincing rebuttal on that one specific point. But anyways, yeah. I mean, I understand.
But
I
even
get what
as a trans person, you see where I'm coming from, though.
Yeah, like when it comes down to the kids side of things, that's a lot more difficult, and I can't really give a whole lot of insight on that, as I don't have children, so I don't know. I don't have that specific type of insight. In general, I think what Obama's trying to do.
Even I don't have that particular type of insight, just because I'm not completely clear on what Obama said. But public schools, I'm not sure if it includes elementary school.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Because like I said, I haven't had the chance to read it.
My daughter is currently in elementary school. She's just
makes
finishing
us
up second
the worst
grade,
prepared
about to
podcast
enter
in the
third
world.
grade, and she's in elementary school. She's not yet in high school, nowhere near high school.
Yeah.
But even if it just propones to high school, it's the fact that in 6 years, my daughter's going to be starting her freshman year.
Yeah.
Do I want 14-year-old boys being able to use the same bathroom as bathroom and showers as my daughter, simply because Obama said so? Just because they think they may identify as women over men? No, I cannot agree with that. I cannot.
It's a very hard point.
It is
so.
a very hard point. I mean, I understand that, and overall, there are always exceptions to the rule. There's people that are fully conscious of who they are and fully sexually aware at 14, 15 years old.
Yeah. Some are, but most aren't.
Most aren't. That's the thing. And we have to understand it. All these people that want, like, open bathrooms for everyone, they're saying that it's the democratic opinion when democracy...
I don't think it actually is. I don't think the democratic, like, if you're looking at the parties, I don't think that it's the bulk of the democratic is...
it's not.
The side is saying...
democratic opinion is
too many people would not agree with
mob
that.
mentality. That's the reason America is not a democracy. We're a democratic republic. We are a republic, not a democracy, because democracy is nothing more than mob rules. It's whatever the majority wants happens, and that is not right.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, that would be institutional racism against black people if we were truly a democracy, because the majority of America is white, and therefore the majority rules, white people rule. And the blacks have no say because they are the minority. More white people vote for a certain thing, it doesn't work.
Which is why the founding fathers made sure that we kept things balanced.
Exactly. That's the reason we're a democratic republic instead of a democracy. Because democracy on essentialism is just as invalid as socialism.
Alrighty, everyone. Well, I think we have run the course. We are at 2 hours and 30 minutes into this thing, so I think I'm going to go ahead and shut us down. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let's see if I queued this up right. I did. I actually queued it up right. You're just gonna hear a little echo on my side. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed the video or the stream. Make sure you guys come back, join us again next time. We're probably going to be doing this every couple of weeks, so we want to try and do it a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, I would like to try and do it a little bit more, and I'm going to be working more on this specific channel with my own stuff. So you'll also see a bunch more videos coming up really soon for everyone. Thank you guys for joining us this evening, and have a great night.